Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? We were born to make manifest of the glory of God that is within us. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others the permission to do the same. Today's story is about a young West African came into Dubai some 5 years ago, went through the odds, and trust me, he's making it and he's on the road to success. His story made me to understand that God still works. Be persistent, be consistent, be focused, and you see things open for you in a greater light. Stay glued, and we'll be right back after the intro. Welcome back. On today's session of Dubai Experiences, I have with me Mr. Prosper. He's here to share his Dubai experiences, to give hope to someone who is out there, especially my West African brothers and sisters struggling in the United Arab Emirates. So as we normally do, we'll be asking him some questions and he's going to be giving us his sincere responses. So, Mr. Prosper, you're welcome to my show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tao.
Okay, so normally I will be asking you some questions and you'll just be giving me your responses. So let's start with the first question. Can you just give a small introduction about you, where you're coming from, how long you've been here, and maybe where you work if you really want to say it, so that our viewers should really know who is talking to them. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Tato.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Thank you so much for inviting me to the show.
You're welcome.
I am very privileged and honored. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my name is Paul Prosper, and many people know me as Prosper.
Okay.
So I am a young Cameroonian guy, hustling just as everyone.
Yeah.
But to God be the glory, I have been growing here in Dubai.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, I work under education.
Okay.
Yes, so it's actually where I've always wanted to be.
Okay.
Okay, talking to people, and I love to communicate.
Yeah.
I love to create connections, and I love to grow.
Perfect. All right, so you've heard him. That's a little snip of what or who Mr. Prosper is.
Thank you.
So let's go on the second one. Why did you leave your country and why did you choose the United Arab Emirates?
So I didn't choose Dubai actually. Yes, I didn't choose Dubai. And I remember when I was still in the university, because I'm this kind of a person who I have a mind of my own, and my let's say fortunately or unfortunately, I have a mom who wants to always pick things for me. Okay. So my mom, when I completed my advanced levels, my mom wanted me to go to Bambali, University of Bambali, like everyone. Okay. I'm like, no, I want to do something that people are shying away from. So I chose the University of Nchang. Okay. As an Anglophone, so you can know what that means.
Yes, definitely.
So I went there for a year. I studied economics and management sciences. Okay. I studied there, and due to financial constraint, it was so hard. So certainly my mom just, sent me a record saying that she wants to settle me. I remember her words. Okay. Like she wants to settle me, and I'm like, what is she saying? So in the record, she said, it's good that I travel out, and I was, excited and all that stuff. So when I heard Dubai, something just died in me. So without knowing, it's that first experience. And I've never had hopes of traveling out because I do not have, someone like out
Family,
there, in the US, Canada. So, and we are not that, financially strong. I'm like, when I grow up, I'll travel out. So that was a big question for me, or a big suggestion for my mom. I prayed over it and I thought about it, because I do not take decisions like that.
Okay.
That's my persona. And after that, I got back to her. I told her that, yes, I will.
Okay.
So I packed up my things from the university and I left. Most of my friends, they were shocked because they know me as John Book.
Okay.
So they were shocked and that I could drop out from school. So immediately we start up the process and I got some training. I applied to Ayaba Hotel. I was an intern, I got some, small skills and all that stuff. So I went there for like 4 months. Then after my training, we applied for a passport, and you know how passport is in Cameroon.
Yeah.
We applied for Express, which took like 5 months.
Instead, how many national identity cards did you have in the system?
Like, it took 5 months, and I think we did it 2 times, so we spent like 500,000.
That's a lot.
Just for that, yeah. So, well, at the end, I got it, and my mom had so much high hopes with a family member who was supposed to, do the process initially, but, somehow, they started drawing back.
Okay.
So somehow mom was, down. She later on got in touch with another person whom I told him, I think a few weeks ago, that I must give him a shout out today.
Okay.
Yes. I am really, really honored to know someone like Mr. Elvis in my life. He is not just a blessing to me, but to so many people.
Okay.
Yes. I really honor him. I really honor him. And he made everything easy for me. He advised me. He told me that things will be hard.
Yeah.
Okay, things will be hard. And I was still unsettled in my spirit. I was like, do I want to do this? I remember when he talks to me, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. After I go and hear another person say, I come, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So it was good though. And I made the decision. Worked in Yaoundé for some few, because I love to be independent.
Yeah, okay.
I started it at a very young age, so I got a job when things were tough with my passport, and then I was supporting myself and family. So once everything was ripe, I think I had a ministration to sing that day on a Sunday. I did my ministration, and then in the evening, boom,
Everything
visa.
came through,
I'm
visa
like,
and everything.
no, this is a scam. There is nothing you would tell me. This is a scam. So I spoke again to him and said, that's how it is. So we booked everything, and then boom, I got to Dubai.
Okay.
I actually did not choose Dubai.
Okay, no worries. All right, so many other people have different stories coming to Dubai, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, I've always heard this about budget constraint, because most people choose the United Arab Emirates because of budget constraint. Yeah, because going to the US, going to Canada, going to Germany, entails a lot. It entails multiple appearances in the embassies, and some people don't really have that financial capability to withstand that. So that's one thing, budget constraint for many people here. Yeah, maybe your mom, I don't know, but maybe she did not have enough financial backing. That's why she had to choose Dubai for you. And actually, you're making her proud. So, yeah. All right. So, on the next question, how did you find yourself in Dubai? So, when your visa came through, okay, you've already said someone, Mr. Elvis, okay, made your visa. So, how long did it take? Did you really understand the process? Because you said it was a scam. So explain that part a little bit for people to understand.
Yeah, because I knew from the stories that I've been hearing, wherein people travel out, their visa takes time, they go for interviews. So I'm like, just ask for my passport. And before I knew it, everything was in my phone. You get, and I was like, I hope he's not trying to scam me or my mom. And no, I'm sorry. Yeah. But I was really doubtful.
Oh, yeah.
I was really doubtful. Okay. And I got in touch with 1 or 2 other people whom Mr. Elvis brought in Dubai, and they were very legit. Okay. So that was when I had some level of peace within me.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I got into the plane, and I was still praying while inside. I was
Okay.
still praying. I could not really eat properly, you know, so many uncertainties. I'm like, oh my God, would he abandon me at the airport?
You've heard many stories about that.
Like,
So,
you don't want to
yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
before that, I'm like, okay, let me try looking for a job. So I started looking for a job way in Cameroon.
Okay.
I started like, okay, jobs in Dubai and all that stuff. But I was relaxed about it because I was not sure. So when I got on the plane, I just prayed all through. I didn't eat properly. I didn't sleep. I remember I didn't sleep, and then boom, I got to Dubai.
Okay, so when your visa came out, was it like a combo package where you had the visa and the flight ticket, or when the visa came through, did you have to walk around Yaoundé
No,
to look for your flight? How did you get the flight?
no, that's why I say Mr. Elvis is just a godsend. He did everything. Like he just sent me everything on my phone that this is your timing, this is the flight ticket. The only thing was the money being available at the time. So mom rushed around and then she kind of like provided the money, and I was just there sitting in doubt,
Okay.
and everything was coming to me.
All right, that's perfect. All right, so on the next question, when you arrived, was the look of things like the weather conditions, the accommodations, and the environment the same as you were told? Because I know for sure that some people will do research. Some people have people already and they'll try to know how the place looks like. So from your own point of view, did you at least make some research, or because you had Mr. Elvis and you had other people, did you ask, and did they really, when you came, did you really see what they told you, or was it different?
Actually, Mr. Elvis was very honest with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm so happy about him. He told me that here, it's a bed space.
Okay.
And it's very tight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only in some rare cases that you have, you know, very nice bed spaces. So he told me that here, the bed space, you can be like 8 of you in a room.
Okay.
And I started digesting in all those things from Cameroon.
Okay.
But however, I did some findings. I spoke with 1 or 2 people and they said, yes, that is how it runs. So in my mind, I already accepted the fact that that's how the condition here is.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not coming here to be relaxed or to, you know, sleep on a certain sophisticated bed. But I knew what I was coming to face. So when I got here, fortunately or unfortunately, Mr. Elvis was at work.
Okay.
So I called him and he told me that he just got back from work and he forgot so that I was coming. So when I was at the airport, I could not find anybody. That's when I'm like,
the reality kicks in and you're just like, okay.
So when I called him, he didn't pick. I think I messaged him and then he responded that, oh, he's so sorry that he was asleep and he was at work. Then he just woke up right now from sleep. And he now asked someone to pick me up from the airport.
Okay, perfect.
And his brother did that for me, and which I'm really grateful for. And Mr. Divine, yeah. So Mr. Divine, we went to the accommodation. He has an apartment, though, a small apartment.
Yeah, right.
And it wasn't really too congested, but the space was small, just him and, you know, 2 other bed spaces.
Okay.
So that's how I started off in Dubai.
Okay. So what about the weather condition? When did you come in, the month?
I came in March, yeah, March.
When it's getting a little bit hot.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was still nice.
Yeah, chilled.
It was still nice.
Chilled hot.
Yeah.
The hot chilled.
And people told me that it's hot. When I got here, I'm like, "Whoa, this is." I think it's like Canada. It's really nice.
Okay.
So, but after some months, that's when I started understanding
when they say
what
hot.
is Dubai.
Okay. So what about the environment from the airport? Were you really pleased? Because someone told me that when he came, oh, the airport was so nice. He was so relaxed. I was like, see airport. Oh.
Yeah.
See airport. airport, we did suffer for Africa. Like, see airport. So was it the same experience you had? Were you taken aback with the buildings, the cars, and everything?
My only fear at the airport was, we've always heard the stories of people putting things in your bag.
Okay.
So I was very vigilant.
Okay.
Like, I was super vigilant. And I didn't really notice anything because so many things were in my head.
Okay.
Like, I was under a lot of stress, because I've always, in my family, I've always tried not to, fail my mom.
Okay.
I could fail and then hide it and, work out through it. But this, I don't want to go and then something happens and she's broken.
Definitely.
So I'm like, I didn't really notice any, but the atmosphere was good though. I think the atmosphere was good. And the person whom I used his phone to call Mr. Helbers, it was really nice. It was really nice.
Oh, okay. All right, so we are going to the giant of the room, the elephant in the room question. All right, so you have to give me a vivid account of your experiences from when you arrived the first day. You said you went to a studio apartment. Mr. Elvis was in a studio apartment with some 2 other people.
Yeah.
It wasn't congested. That's where you started from. So you tell us from that time.
Oh my God.
Right up till date, including the living conditions, if you stayed in best places, the places you stayed, the housing, the job hunts, if you've gone for visa change, if you've had overstays, and the employments.
When I got to the airport, Mr. Elvis called Mr. Divine to come get me, and while I went there, I was still not settled. I was like, I need to have a job.
Yes.
Okay. So the aspect of him being a scam has been
Ticked out.
So I was now thinking of how to get a job because I also did some findings about this job visa thing, and I know it's a problem.
Okay.
So I rested for a while and we got an information that there's a job opening in the supermarket.
Okay.
Yeah. And they have to pay, what's this thing called? Commission.
Okay.
God. They have to give some commission of like 1,000 dirhams.
Okay. How much was the salary?
I think it was, I didn't even care about salary at that time. I think it was 1,800 for the salary.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm like, this is a job open, and they said it's legit. I'm like, okay, they are the one who picked me up from the airport. They've been good to me, so okay, I can't doubt them. So we got, I reached my mom, and then we got the money for the commission, and it was sent to us.
Okay.
Now, we went for the job interview in a supermarket. Everything was good. Okay, everything was good. And the interview was so nice. I'm like, what kind of interview is this one? So I gave them the money. They gave me a well-drafted offer letter, and they asked me to start in a month.
All right.
Okay, I went back home, ate all my food, wore all my dresses, visited, slept, browsed, told everybody I got a job. Boom. The day I was supposed, few days for me to start, we got the news that it was a scam.
Oh my God.
Yes, and my visa has already... I am the kind of person who does not know how to show outward pain.
Okay.
I just sit quiet and I soak it in.
Yeah.
And I can even lost some weight at that process because I don't know how to communicate my pain. I just know people have theirs.
Yeah.
So you should know how to handle yours. Yeah. After that, I accepted it. We were like 2 of us in the house. I accepted the fact and I'm like, no, I can't do this. I drafted a CV, or Mr. Divine helped me to draft a CV.
Okay.
And then I started going around.
All right.
I went in there, showed them what I got. I started with restaurants.
Okay.
Because I knew I didn't complete my bachelor's. So I started with restaurants. I gave in my CVs and nobody even called me or something. Like, I was so discouraged. Then COVID hit.
Okay. The master of the game changer.
I was so devastated until I didn't eat I can just eat something a day and then that's it. I went to to drop a CV somewhere, and then upon coming back, they told me that there's another job opening in COVID. I'm like, I don't doubt you guys, so, but are you sure? Because everywhere was closed.
Yeah.
And
people were losing jobs.
Yeah, people were losing jobs.
And going back home. So how come
is there a job
Yeah.
opening? So this one was coming from Mr. Elvis himself.
Okay.
Since I had already had a lot of respect for him, I said, okay, let me do it. So it was a construction job.
All right.
So, and people know me as, he's so soft.
That's what when you say construction job, and I was just like, okay, I'm trying to see the person seated in front of me and trying to relate him
exactly
with construction work.
Yeah.
It doesn't tally at all.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And we went there, the two of us. The other person, he's well built. And he's looking like, oh, he can do the job. And I'm just there. And at that time, I was looking so young. I didn't even know what I'm doing outside my mother's house. So we went there and they picked me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They picked me and they asked the other brother of mine to go back. So they might call him. So it's a construction job that came as a cleaning job.
Okay.
So it was when we got into it that we knew it is a construction job. Okay. So I started the job and they gave me accommodation, but food is solely on me. Feeding is solely on me.
Okay. So what was the accommodation at?
DIP, Dubai Investment Park.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the outskirt of Dubai. So that was a very dusty area. Almost. So when I posted pictures and I started working there and I post pictures, people were like, are you in Dubai? Because the Dubai they know is not this dusty.
It's not dusty.
So I accepted the fact that that's where I will start. And my bosses were so, I think they were Iranians, and they were so hostile towards us Africans because they were hiring only Africans. Oh. Yeah, and then they had Indians working in the main company, and then we were working for the cleaning aspect, the construction side. Months will pass, they won't pay. I literally got paratha for lunch and dinner. Luckily, I got connected with the other Cameroonian brothers and they helped me out. Things were so bad until I had to go into the washroom once they've taking the shower. I'll pick up the chunks from the the beddings and take my bath. I could not afford a thing.
Oh my God.
I could not afford a thing. Let's say maybe you can charge up your phone. There's nothing that I could afford, but I'm working. So I knew I can't continue like this. I'm more than that. And before coming to Dubai, people told me that once you come here, you can get a security job, just sit and still in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm bigger than security.
Of course
when I came here, they said to be a security, you need a certificate. I'm like, wow. So I started there and I started looking for a job. I got to this restaurant. It's an Indian restaurant though. Okay. So they have never hired an African before. So I think I got the boss's number directly. I don't know how come. And when I come back in the evening, I say, hello, sir. He will not respond. When I'm going to work, I say, good morning, sir. How are you doing today? He would not respond. In the afternoon, how is your day going? I kept on. I was so persistent until he had to call me for an interview.
Okay.
So when he called me, so I think within that time, the government had granted amnesty, or is it
amnesty for people who overstay?
Exactly. So I kind of benefited from that.
Okay, you were overstay already?
Yeah.
How many months?
Not too deep. I think it was like a month or so. Okay. And I knew I'm already in a mess. So I enjoyed that amnesty though, and I'm really grateful to the government of this land. They came through for so many Africans. So many people, not even Africans. So during that time, I went for the interview, and then I got the job without even a stress.
For the restaurant job?
Yeah, for the restaurant job.
The Indian restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they clearly told me that they have never hired an African before, and this is a typical restaurant. Okay. Indian restaurant. Yeah. So I had to learn everything from the scratch. I applied as a waiter. I skipped that aspect of visa change.
Okay.
Okay. Gratefully to God, I have never done a visa change before. So I started working there. I didn't want to jump from jobs, or I didn't want to go from one job to another.
Yeah.
I worked there, and I'm like, let me start here, develop myself, build myself, get something. I worked there, and they opened another branch for me. They opened another branch, and I was transferred there since I had difficulties in blending with their food, staff food to be precise though. So I went to that Italian branch, and after I worked there for a while, they gave me a post of an assistant manager.
Oh, nice.
In an Indian milieu.
That's great.
Like, I was shocked, and I'm like, this is the price for consistency. Dubai has literally shaped me on how to, even make good communication, good connections, on how to sell yourself out there.
Yeah.
It has also, made me to get into systematic work, which is very important these days. So I think Dubai is just it.
Yeah, because someone said, we Africans, especially the West ones, we complain, there's an issue of race. We always like to play the race card. You're working right now in an education sector, a very big one at that. And you were interviewed. No African was there when you were interviewed. And it was just an Australian and a Scottish that interviewed you. And they were so pleased with you that they gave you the job. So while some people are playing the race card, some people are taking the bulls by the horn and running with it. And some other people are just like, they're saying, see, UAE is where you find a lot of people from diverse nationalities and cultures. You are applying for a job. A Canadian is applying for that same job. An Australian is applying for that same job. An American is applying for that same job. So what we lack is we don't have that mindset of making it work for us. We just think, okay, we just have to have it easy. No, you have to stand out. In the UAE, you have to actually stand out before you can have something. And that's what we lack. I was saying that we don't have this required, some of us don't have the required skills, let's be honest. From our communication to our grooming, we don't have.
Selling power is just...
Yeah, but we expect that when we go for a job, they should choose us. You have to ask yourself in the mirror, why should I be chosen for this job I'm going for? Before you even say anything to anybody.